The Israel-Palestine conflict has a long and complex history dating back to the late 19th century. Here is a timeline of key events. Late 19th century, early 20th century, Zionist movement. The Zionist movement began in the late 19th century, advocating for the establishment of a Jewish homeland in Palestine. This movement gained momentum as Jews from Europe sought refuge from persecution British mandate. After World War I, the League of Nations granted Britain a mandate over Palestine. The British initially supported the idea of a Jewish homeland, but later tried to balance Jewish and Arab interests, leading to tensions. 1949 UN Partition Plan. In 1947, the United Nations passed Resolution 1801, proposing the partition of Palestine into separate Jewish and Arab states. With Jerusalem as an international city, this plan was accepted by Jewish leaders, but rejected by Arab leaders. First Arab-Israeli War. On May 14, 1948, Israel declared independence. The following day, neighboring Arab countries invaded Israel, starting the First Arab-Israeli War. Israel emerged victorious, expanding its territory beyond the partition boundaries. Around 750,000 Palestinians were displaced in an event known as the Nakba, catastrophe 1950s, 1960s. Israel, along with Britain and France, invaded Egypt in response to Egypt's nationalization of the Suez Canal. The invasion was condemned by the UN and the US, leading to a ceasefire. Six-Day War, 1967. Tensions between Israel and its neighbors escalated. Israel launched a preemptive strike, defeating Egypt, Jordan, and Syria within 6 days. Israel occupied the West Bank, Gaza Strip, Sinai Peninsula, and Golan Heights. This war significantly expanded Israel's territory and control over Palestinian lands. 1970s Yom Kippur War. 1973, Egypt and Syria launched a surprise attack on Israel during the Jewish holiday of Yom Kippur. The war ended in a ceasefire with no significant territorial changes. However, it led to a period of relative calm and eventually the Camp David Accords. Camp David Accords, 1978. Both Egyptian President Anwar Sadat and Israeli Prime Minister Menachem Begin signed the Camp David Accords, mediated by U.S. President Jimmy Carter. This led to a peace treaty between Egypt and Israel in 1979, with Israel withdrawing from the Sinai Peninsula. 1980s, 1990s, First Intifada, 1987-1993. Palestinians in the West Bank and Gaza Strip launched a widespread uprising against Israeli occupation, known as the First Intifada. This period saw violent clashes and increased international attention on the conflict. Oslo Accords, 1993. Secret negotiations between Israel and the Palestine Liberation Organization, PLO, led to the Oslo Accords, which established the Palestinian Authority and granted it limited self-governance in parts of the West Bank and Gaza Strip. 2000s. Second Intifada, 2000-2005. Triggered by Israeli Prime Minister Ariel Sharon's visit to the Al-Aqsa Mosque, the Second Intifada saw increased violence, including suicide bombings and Israeli military responses. Gaza withdrawal, 2005. Israel unilaterally withdrew from the Gaza Strip but retained control over its borders, airspace. Hamas control, 2006. Hamas won the Palestinian legislative elections, leading to a split between Hamas-controlled Gaza and Fatah-controlled West Bank, 2010s. 2008-2014. Multiple conflicts occurred between Israel and Hamas in Gaza, including Operation Cast Lead, 2008-2009, Operation Pillar of Defense, 2012, and Operation Protective Edge, 2014, resulting in significant casualties and destruction. 2023-2025 conflict. On October 7, 2023, Hamas launched a major attack on Israel, leading to a prolonged conflict. This war has caused a severe humanitarian crisis in Gaza, with significant loss of life and destruction. Gazanim situation, the conflict remains unresolved, with ongoing tensions and sporadic violence, have been hampered by issues such as Israeli settlements in the West Bank, the status of Jerusalem, and Palestinian political divisions.